Have you ever wondered why we get so excited about new cars, machines we don't even own yet? Why just the announcement of a new model can make your heart beat a little faster? It's not just about speed or design, it's deeper. It's psychology. See, for car lovers, a new car isn't just metal and wheels, it's identity, it's possibility, it's escape. When brands announce upcoming models, like what we're seeing for 2025 and 2026, something fires in our brain. Dopamine, the same chemical that drives motivation and craving. And car companies know it. They build suspense through leaks, teaser images, concept rumors. And we, as enthusiasts, eat it up. But this isn't shallow hype. It's about evolution. Cars are more than vehicles. They're emotional machines. In fact, according to a 2023 consumer psychology report by the University of Bath, nearly 71% of car buyers say they form an emotional bond with a vehicle before even stepping into the driver's seat. That bond starts the moment we see the design, the moment we hear the specs, the moment we imagine what it would feel like to sit behind the wheel. And 2026? It's shaping up to be one of the most exciting years in recent memory. Here's why. We're witnessing the blending of old and new. Electric meets muscle. Digital tech meets raw driving feel. Minimalist design meets rugged off-road capability. It's like the industry is finally listening to what we want, not just performance, but personality. Manufacturers are tapping into nostalgia, reviving legendary models with a modern twist. At the same time, they're pushing the limits of what a car can be, more efficient, more intelligent, more emotionally charged. The baby Land Cruiser, which we'll talk about later in this video, is the perfect example. Toyota took a beloved icon and reimagined it for a new generation. Compact, capable, and filled with the same DNA that made the original a legend. But before we dive into the top 5 cars, think about this. Why do people care so much about specific models? It's the personal meaning. The Mustang reminds you of freedom. The Tesla Roadster feels like the future in motion. The Porsche Macan EV tells you luxury and speed can still live in silence. Each car is a symbol. Psychologists call this projective identity. We project our values onto objects. For car lovers, that means horsepower isn't just a number, it's a feeling of control. A bold front grille isn't just design, it's presence. And a reliable badge? That's peace of mind. So when the new models roll out, it's not just about new stuff. It's about reconnecting with those feelings. It's about chasing the version of ourselves we see behind the wheel. And 2026? It's giving us a lot to chase. Here's the best part. If you stay with this video until the end, you'll hear about the most surprising release of all, Toyota's compact off-roader that's already turning heads in enthusiast forums across the world. Something that could redefine small SUVs entirely. You'll understand why it's not just a car, it's a movement. This isn't just a countdown. It's a journey through what's coming, why it matters, and how these machines reflect the changing psychology of car buyers. Every car in this list has been selected for a reason. Not just specs, not just hype, but emotional and cultural impact. Because at the end of the day, car lovers don't just want transportation, we want connection. We want something that makes our blood rush, something that feels alive. And the 2026 lineup is shaping up to do exactly that. So, buckle in, because what's coming isn't just fast or beautiful, it's unforgettable. Let's start the countdown. The first car on our list is more than just an upgrade. It's a bold statement from a brand that's been part of American muscle culture for decades. The 2026 Ford Mustang GTD isn't built for everyone. It's built for those who understand what it means to drive. Not just to get from A to B, but to feel the road, to command it, to become one with the machine. At first glance, it looks like a Mustang, but under the skin, it's something else entirely. This is Ford's street-legal track monster, a car born from racing technology but sculpted to be driven daily, if you dare. Psychologically, there's a reason this car grabs attention. It connects to something primal, power. According to performance behavior research published by Dr. Paul Rosen, humans are instinctively drawn to displays of control and force. In the automotive world, that translates into cars like the GTD. Wide stance, aggressive aerodynamics, massive rear wing. These aren't just visual choices, they're signals. They tell your brain this is not ordinary. This is dominance. And when you look at the numbers, it backs that feeling up. The 2026 GTD is expected to push out over 800 horsepower, thanks to a supercharged 5.2-liter V8. That's not just fast, that's emotionally overwhelming. Speed, when experienced correctly, doesn't just thrill. It rewires your emotional state. It triggers a neurological cocktail, adrenaline, dopamine, even endorphins. That's why high-performance driving becomes addictive. It's not just fun, it's chemically rewarding. But Ford didn't stop at speed. The GTD features advanced suspension tech, active aero systems, and a body partially made of carbon fiber. Every decision on this car is about reducing weight, increasing grip, and sharpening response. In simpler words, it's about precision. And precision, according to research in engineering psychology, is something drivers deeply respect, because it gives the feeling of mastery. And nothing feels more human than the sensation of mastering a machine built to challenge you. But there's more to this Mustang than just numbers. It represents an identity shift. Ford has always made Mustangs for the masses. Accessible performance, affordable power. But the GTD? This is Mustang stepping into elite territory, not to abandon its roots, but to prove it can evolve. The decision to name it GTD was intentional. It's a nod to GT3, the class of race cars it shares DNA with. And Ford wants the world to know, this isn't just another Mustang, it's a declaration. This car wasn't designed to compete with other muscle cars. It was designed to compete with Porsche GT3Rs, Mercedes-AMG GT Black Series, and other high-performance European exotics. That psychological shift is important, because when a brand known for affordability challenges luxury giants, it sends a message to the driver. You don't need a European badge to feel superior. You need the right machine. In the minds of car lovers, this creates a deep emotional value. It's the underdog story. It's the feeling of owning something that shouldn't exist, but does. A V8-powered, track-ready American machine that makes no apologies. Another key point? Sound. Ford kept the growl. That iconic Mustang roar is still there. And in a world of quiet EVs, that matters more than ever. According to sound design studies by the University of Leeds, engine acoustics directly influence driver satisfaction, even more than speed or interior quality in performance vehicles. It's psychological reinforcement. That sound tells your brain, you're alive, you're moving, you're in control. So while the industry moves towards silence and software, the GTD offers something rare, a loud, physical, mechanical driving experience. And that's why it earns its place in the top 5. It's not just a fast car, it's a feeling machine. Built not to impress with luxury, but to connect with drivers on a deeper level. For many enthusiasts, cars like this are the last of their kind. No software-imposed limits, no fake engine sounds, just raw, unfiltered performance. That's why when people see the 2026 Mustang GTD, they don't just admire it, they want it. Because it speaks to something inside them, something that wants to be unleashed. And even if they never buy one, the desire it sparks? That's real. That's what makes cars like this unforgettable. This Mustang isn't about being practical. It's about reminding the world that driving is still alive, and that some machines are built for the few who understand that thrill can't be downloaded. Not every car excites the heart and mind in the same way. Some cars whisper luxury, others scream innovation. But the ones that stay with us are the ones that stir something deeper. The next 3 cars do exactly that, each in its own unique way. Since 4 to 2026. Porsche Macan EV. What happens when a brand known for gasoline performance steps fully into the electric future? Porsche has already proven that EVs can be thrilling with the Taycan. But the 2026 Macan EV is different. It's not a performance sedan, it's a compact SUV. And that means it touches a wider audience. People who want both speed and space. The Macan EV is built on the PPE platform, developed with Audi. That matters because it's optimized for high-performance electric vehicles. We're talking 800-volt architecture, faster charging, and a lower center of gravity. That last part? That's what makes it feel like a Porsche. From a psychological perspective, what makes this car so attractive is its balance. Human minds are drawn to symmetry, harmony, and completeness. The Macan EV offers just that: performance, utility, style, and silence, all at once. Silence, in particular, plays a bigger role than most people realize. In noise studies by the International Journal of Environmental Research, lower noise levels were directly linked to reduced stress and increased driving satisfaction. In the Macan EV, you're moving fast, but your brain feels calm. That's a rare emotional state. Then there's the design. It's not overdone, it's not flashy, it's restrained but athletic. This taps into what behavioral psychologists call the confidence aesthetic, design that doesn't scream for attention because it doesn't need to. The car knows what it is. And that silent confidence transfers to the driver. Inside, the cabin is pure modern Porsche. Digital, minimal, but tactile where it counts. It makes you feel like you're in control, not just sitting in a tech pod. The result is a car that doesn't just look premium. It feels psychologically premium. Every interaction is smooth, seamless, and intentional. That's emotional design at work. It's not just about features, it's about how you feel while using them. Third, 2026 BMW M5 Hybrid. Few letters in the automotive world carry more weight than M. And the 2026 BMW M5 is going through a massive transformation. For the first time, it's becoming a plug-in hybrid. To some, that sounds like betrayal. But for those who understand where performance is heading, it's evolution. This new M5 will reportedly use a version of the hybrid V8 setup from the XM, combining electric torque with raw combustion force. The result? Estimated 700+ horsepower. That's not compromise, that's controlled aggression. And here's where psychology enters again. Drivers don't just want speed, they want responsiveness. According to MIT's Department of Mechanical Engineering, the sensation of immediate power, especially at low speeds, is more satisfying than top-end speed. That's what electric torque delivers. It feels instant, effortless, dominant. But BMW knows its audience. That's why they're keeping the M5 balanced. Not fully electric, not fully gas. A blend. That way it still growls, it still shifts, it still involves the driver. This taps into a deeper psychological need: ritual. Enthusiasts love the feel of shifting gears, hearing revs climb, sensing the weight transfer in corners. These are rituals, and rituals build emotional connection. Remove them, and the car becomes forgettable. Keep them, and the car becomes a part of your identity. The new M5 also respects tradition in its design: sharp lines, wide arches, aggressive stance. This isn't an anonymous EV shape, it's a visual continuation of the M lineage. Inside, expect high digital integration, but not at the cost of driver engagement. BMW has been careful not to turn its cars into touchscreen-only experiences. That's crucial, because tactile feedback, physical knobs, buttons, paddle shifters, creates a more satisfying and confident interaction, as shown in user interface research by Stanford. The hybrid M5 speaks to a new kind of car lover, someone who wants to move forward without letting go of the past. Someone who respects legacy but isn't afraid of change. It's emotional progress, engineered in metal and software. 2026 Tesla Roadster. Some cars are fast, some are iconic. The Tesla Roadster is both, and then some. Still unofficially dated but expected in 2026, the new Roadster isn't just a car, it's a statement, a futuristic missile designed to shatter every benchmark. The numbers sound almost ridiculous: 0 to 60 in under 2 seconds. Over 600 miles of range, top speeds north of 250 miles per hour. But what really matters isn't the numbers, it's how they make you feel. The Roadster triggers what psychologists call the extremity bias. Humans are naturally fascinated by extremes: fastest, longest, biggest. It activates attention, curiosity, and even admiration. Even if most people never drive one, the very idea of a car that outpaces Ferraris and runs on electricity captures imaginations. That's not marketing, that's cognitive attraction. Tesla understands this. They don't just sell cars. They sell the idea of technological superiority. And the Roadster is their crown jewel. The emotional appeal also lies in contrast. Electric cars are often quiet, calm, even conservative. The Roadster? It's violent, silent on the outside, but emotionally explosive inside. It also plays into the psychology of identity. People don't buy a Roadster to blend in. They buy it to stand out, to tell the world, I'm ahead, I'm different. That's why Elon Musk hinted at a SpaceX-inspired package with cold air thrusters. It may sound like science fiction, but that's the point. The Roadster isn't designed for today, it's a glimpse of tomorrow. And in that vision, performance isn't noisy. It's silent, it isn't mechanical, it's digital. But it still feels extraordinary. The Roadster isn't trying to compete with the past, it's trying to make the past irrelevant. And for anyone who's ever dreamed of the perfect driving machine, beautiful, brutal, and electric, that dream suddenly feels closer than ever. At the top of the list isn't the fastest. It's not even the most expensive. But it's the one that resonates with something primal: freedom. The 2026 baby Toyota Land Cruiser, unofficially known as the Landhopper, has captured the imagination of car lovers in a way few modern SUVs can. And the reason is simple: it connects past and present, emotionally, mechanically, and symbolically. For decades, the Land Cruiser stood for durability, toughness, and go-anywhere confidence. It wasn't a trend, it was a promise. And that promise created deep loyalty. Across continents and generations, the Land Cruiser became more than a vehicle, it became a companion. But over time, that simplicity faded. The model grew larger, heavier, and more luxurious. Many missed what made it special to begin with. The 2026 Landhopper is Toyota's answer to that nostalgia. It's compact, it's functional. It's exactly what off-road enthusiasts and minimalists have been waiting for. From a psychological perspective, this model taps into autonomy, the need to feel free and self-reliant. According to self-determination theory in psychology, autonomy is one of the 3 basic human needs for long-term satisfaction. A small, capable off-roader like the Landhopper speaks directly to that desire. You don't just drive it, you escape with it. Everything about this vehicle has been engineered to deliver that emotional freedom. Reports suggest it will share the TNGA-F platform, the same architecture behind the full-size Land Cruiser in Tacoma. That means real off-road bones. Not a crossover in disguise, but a proper body-on-frame build. That structure matters because it signals authenticity. In behavioral marketing, authenticity increases emotional connection and trust. People want to feel like their vehicle isn't pretending to be something. The Landhopper doesn't pretend. It is what it claims to be. Design-wise, it's bold but compact. Boxy proportions, high ground clearance, short overhangs. It's instantly recognizable as a Land Cruiser, but in a new condensed form. This plays on the principle of familiar surprise, something that feels new, yet comfortingly known. And that's powerful. Because when our brain recognizes a form, it opens up emotionally. But when it also sees a twist, like the smaller size, it triggers curiosity and desire. This dual response is what creates obsession. And the Landhopper has that effect.
Toyota is expected to equip it with a
1.8 Albanian Lex or 2.0 Albanian Lex turbocharged hybrid powertrain, possibly shared with models like the Corolla Cross or RAV4. That suggests efficiency without losing torque. But again, this isn't about headline specs. It's about emotional balance. The small size makes it perfect for narrow trails, city streets, or spontaneous road trips. And that opens up more possibility, a word deeply connected to how car enthusiasts experience joy. More things become possible in a vehicle that fits everywhere and goes anywhere. Interior details are still under wraps, but early leaks in Toyota's recent design language hint at something rugged yet modern. Expect physical buttons, water-resistant materials, and a utilitarian layout. This isn't a luxury SUV, it's a tool. And people love tools that work without drama. In product psychology, this is known as low-friction interaction. When a product works intuitively without unnecessary complexity, users form a deeper bond with it. The Landhopper seems to be following that principle closely. But beyond specs, the cultural timing of this launch is what makes it so emotionally charged. Right now, people are craving realness. Social media is saturated. Digital lives are exhausting. There's a quiet rebellion happening. People want to go offline. They want to go outside. And they want a vehicle that enables that escape. This car arrives at that exact moment. It's small enough to be practical, tough enough to be adventurous, efficient enough to be modern, and simple enough to be timeless. In psychological terms, it's a symbol of controlled rebellion. You're not rejecting the modern world. You're choosing when to engage with it. And a car that can take you deep into the mountains or just down a quiet trail? That's more than freedom. It's power of choice. For Toyota, this is more than a model. It's a return to soul. The Landhopper shows they're listening to what enthusiasts want, not just innovation, but emotion. And for those who grew up admiring the old Land Cruisers, or for those discovering the brand for the first time, this baby version is the gateway, a smaller icon for a new era, one that doesn't compromise on spirit. Its arrival also redefines the compact SUV segment. Instead of soft rotors with plastic cladding and no real capability, the Landhopper brings back substance over style. And ironically, that honesty is what makes it stylish. This car doesn't shout, it whispers something powerful. Let's go anywhere. It's that whisper that creates obsession, not with features, but with the feeling of potential. So while the other cars on this list dominate in speed, luxury, or tech, the 2026 Baby Land Cruiser wins on soul. And in a world flooded with distractions, soul might just be the most valuable feature a car can offer.